like to be satiric when delivering a lyric of the sort of song I try to put across. And the songs I tend to favor have a slightly saucy flavor. I'm Saucy Sylvia. I'm saucy. You can bet your little assets that my act has many facets, and you'll never ever find me at a loss to prevent someone from cleaning up a dandy double meaning. If you say my name, say sauce. I salute you out of towners. I make smilers out of frowners, and my repertoire are very large. If there's something you can sell us, all you've got to do is tell us, and we'll advertise it for you free of charge. I sing for happy folks and horny, from New York to California. If you like my songs, why please go tell the boss. I'm not lavender and lacy, I prefer songs rather racy. I'm Saucy Sylvia. I'm sauce. I salute you out of towners. I make smilers out of frowners, and my repertoire are very large. If there's something you can sell us, all you've got to do is tell us, and we'll advertise it for you free of charge. I sing for happy folks and horny, from New York to California. If you like my songs, why please go tell the boss. I'm not lavender and lacy, I prefer songs rather racy. I'm Saucy Sylvia. I'm sauce. A hot-blooded Corrine named Fawn could make love from dusk to the dawn. She let no one slip past, but took on the whole cast, for she heard that the show must go on. What's your name, sir?
Pete.
Oh, Pete. Pete. Friends may come and friends may go and friends may peter out, you know, but I'll be yours through thick or thin, peter out or peter in. I'm glad you brought Pete with you tonight, Betty. You usually bring Eddie. There once was a fellow named Tupper who took his girl out to supper. At 8:30, they sat down and ate. At 9:30, it was upper, not Tupper, not the supper, but that darn fool named Skinner again. Here's to Eve, mother of all races. She wore a fig leaf in the most personal of places. And here's to Adam, daddy of us all, Johnny on the spot when the leaves began to fall. By the way, this is my stock exchange dress. When I get up to 140, it splits. A man may kiss his wife goodbye, a rose may kiss a butterfly, bubbling wine may kiss a glass, but you, my friend, farewell. Here's to America, the land of the push, where a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. But if in that bush a fair maiden should stand, a push in the bush is worth two in the hand. Glad you like those high-class numbers. Do you like that? Wonderful. It's holiday time. Let's fill up our socks. Santa will fill them with bagel and lox. Martinis, my dear, are deceiving. Only drink one at the most. Drink two and you're under the table. Drink three and you're under the host. Little girl's prayer. Dear God, forgive me for what I did last night. 'Twas that last drink that threw me. Please make me like I was before. Please, dear God, unscrew me. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you happen to know what a spoonerism is. But a spoonerism, you know, Phyllis, is like instead of saying ladies and gentlemen, you say Jadies and gentlemen. Well, for many years, I have taken the little fairy tales, things like Cinderella and Little Red Riding Hood, and we've turned them around to Little Hood Riding Ride and Rindercella. And tonight we're going to do our newest spoonerism. It's the story of the three bears, Italian style. You like it already? Once upon a time in the Feep Dorst, there lived a family of bears. There was the Batty Dare, and the Balmy Mare, and the Little Baby Lair, by a Mormer Farage. And one day their television set broke brown, so away they went for a walk in the forest. I think that's going to be a big line in this number. Besides, the walk would give their hot pizza a chance to cool off. They had just gone mipping scarily pound the dath when a giddle earl came bowling stride their house. Her name was Oldie Gox. Oldie Gox was a wathparker. A wathparker. A wathparker, a pathwalker. She was terrified from parking the waz all night long. She was looking for a lace to lake a toad off her feet. She decided to hiss the vouse to see what was going on. She banged the roordell, but no one damed to the core. Oldie Gox licked the pock and went in. Wow, said Oldie Gox. These must be Dago bears. And she took one sniff from the garlic smell from the pizza. And then she saw the pizza. It was large pepperoni with chutzarella mise and rushmoons. It had gots and gots of larlic. Around the television set there were 3 snack tables. One berry vig one sormelnized one, and one Terry Viney snable. She went to the big pizza first, and it was who tot. She went to the medium wise son, and it was who told. She finally came to the small pizza, and it was Russ Jite. Now she wanted to take a nap. She found 3 beds in the bedroom. She didn't know which bed to jump into. She tried the king bing-sized bed with the Chanteur Keats. But it was hootard. Then she tried the medium-wise son with the canopy on top. But it was too soft. And then she tried the small baby crib and went right to Lumber's Land. The Beathrares came home from their falk in the worst. Let's all try that line together. The Beathrares came home from their falk in the worst. Let's do it once more. The Beathrares came home from their falk in the worst. Someone's been peating my eats, said the Batty Dare. And someone's been peating my eats, said the Mommy Bear. And some birdie dastard is beating all of my aces, said the tiny little chair. They went into the bedroom. Someone is beeping in my sled, said the Batty Dare. And someone is beeping in my sled, said the Balmy Mare. And someone is beeping in my sled, said the Piney Terror. And it isn't a birdie dastard, it's a Chowick. Chowick. Then Oldie Gox woke up and ham from the rouse, screaming, "This is the last time I'll ever try a hare's bouse. Next time I'll try a trat house." That's right, she said she'd try a cat house. The Beathrares have lively ever after. Thank you very much, ladies. you hear about the Volkswagen that ran over the hen? And after it ran over the hen got up and shook itself off and said, big rough son of a gun, wasn't he? But he didn't get any. There was a drunken woman sitting at the bar with a pet duck under her arm. And some drunk came in and stood in front of her and he said, where'd you get the pig? And the woman said, that's not a pig, it's a duck. He said, I wasn't talking to you. You hear about the cross-eyed rooster who chased the hens around the barnyard, and after he chased them around the barnyard, one hen said to the other, we'd better split up, dearie, or that cross-eyed son of a gun will miss the both of them. And then there's the beautiful story of a girl who goes into the bar and she goes up to this guy and she said, do you like pussycats? And the guy said, well, certainly I like pussycats. But tell me, how'd you know my last name? And then there's the story of the queer jungle, ladies and gentlemen. The lion walks up to the panther and he said, oh, mighty panther, who's the king of this jungle? The panther said, you, mighty lion, you're the king of this jungle. And then the lion goes up to the giraffe and he says, giraffe, who is the king of this jungle? And the giraffe said, you, mighty lion, you're the king of this jungle. And then the lion goes up to the elephant and he said, oh, you, mighty elephant, big and strong, who is the king of this jungle? And with that, the elephant wraps his trunk around the lion and beats him from one end of the jungle to the other. And the lion gets up and shakes himself off and said, well, you didn't have to be so miserable about it because you didn't know the answer. The three bears came home from their walk in the forest. Leave that line in, Pete. Someone said, you know, ladies and gentlemen, we get so many contributions. This is part of our show. We found this out when we went on our tour, that some of the greatest material we get comes right from the audience, right from you people. And we always bring it along with us just as we receive it from you. And we got this just the other night here at the 24 Karat Club in Detroit. Anyway, the circus was finishing its final performance in the country town when one of its zebras had a stroke. The local vet prescribed a few weeks' rest for the beasts, so the circus owner made arrangements to board it at a nearby farm. The zebra took to the new life immediately and spent the first day meeting all the animals of the barnyard. He came across a chicken and said, I'm a zebra, who are you? I'm a chicken, said the chicken. What do you do? Asked the zebra. Oh, I scratch around and lay eggs, said the chicken. Moving on, the zebra found a cow. He introduced himself saying, I'm a zebra. Who are you and what do you do? I'm a cow and I graze in the field and give milk, said the cow. The zebra met a bull next. I'm a zebra, he said. Who are you? I'm a bull, said the bull. And what do you do? Asked the zebra. What do I do? Snorted the bull, pawing at the turf with a forefoot. Why, you silly-looking ass, take off your pajamas and I'll show you. If the mini skirts get any shorter and the winds don't behave, the women... Oh, no, we can't use this. Oh, no, I love it. It's adorable, but we've got an image, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether you've heard this story, but I think it's so adorable. It's about the owner of an apartment house who ran into one of his tenants on the street. He said to the guy, listen, I want to tell you I've had an affair with every woman in the apartment house but one. So the guy got real shook, went home to his wife, and he said, listen, I just ran into the owner of our apartment house, and he told me he'd had an affair with every woman in the apartment but one. She must be that stuck-up Mrs. Jones on the third floor. And then there's the story about the girl who came into church with the topless blouse on, and the minister said to her, "You can't come in here like that." And she said, "I want you to know that I have a divine right." And he said, "You got a gorgeous laugh, too, but you can't come in here." And then there's the story of the modern grandmother, ladies and gentlemen. The modern grandmother called her grandchildren around, and the grandchildren said, "Grandma, tell us a story." And so the modern grandmother, being very modern, said, "All right, children, bring me a bottle of gin and some cigarettes." So they brought her a bottle of gin and they brought her some cigarettes, and she, being very modern, took a slug of the gin and the puff of the cigarette, and she said, "All right, children, once upon a time there was an old son of a bitch. And the children said, "Grandma, don't tell us about Grandpa again. Tell us about the time you were a whore in Chicago." 11 little insurance men. First insurance man sleeps with his wife. That's home insurance. Second insurance man sleeps with his girlfriend. That's mutual benefit. Third insurance man sleeps with chorus girl. That's New York Life. Fourth insurance man sleeps with hotel maid. That's Traveler's Aid. Fifth insurance man sleeps with woman next door. That's Royal Neighbors. Sixth insurance man sleeps with old maid. That's Prudential. Seventh insurance man sleeps with grandma. That's old age assistance. Eighth insurance man sleeps with nobody. That's John Hancock. Ninth insurance man sleeps with anybody. That's Metropolitan. 10th insurance man sleeps with boyfriend. That's Oddfellows. 11th insurance man sleeps with Charlie McCarthy. That's Lumberman's Mutual. The insurance man who sleeps with all of the above, that's Great American. And in case anyone gets pregnant from all of this, that's industrial accident. Had no eyes for Eve, what problems there would be. He might have never eaten that sweet apple from the tree, but Eve used all her charms on Adam till she got her way. Then Adam got the jump on Eve. That's why you're here today, for sex is the thing. Sex is the thing. Sex is the thing that started it all. When Chris Columbus sailed the ocean searching for new lands, his goal, they say, was India, but something fouled his plans. We're told he read his compass wrong, but I know that's not true. He really had a girl in India 6 weeks overdue, for sex is the thing. Sex is the thing. Sex is the thing that started it all. Ben Franklin knew a lot of things, but nothing of romance. So how he found electricity was purely just by chance. His girlfriend, highly oversexed, had quite an appetite. And when poor Benny failed to please, she said, "Go fly a kite, for sex is the thing. Sex is the thing. Sex is the thing that started it all." These dances kids are doing now seem harmless as can be. Well, they can fool you folks out there, but they ain't fooling me. They have no place to poon and tang, I'm sure you realize. But with these dances, they can do it right before your eyes. For sex is the thing. Sex is the thing. Sex is the thing that started it all. population in this country's getting out of hand. The day will come when couples making love will have to stand. Don't blame it on the red Chinese or good old LBJ. Just wait about 100 years and history books will say that sex is the thing. Sex is the thing. Sex is the thing that started it all. If you've got tons of troubles and you're hopelessly in debt, and life is one big horse race but you just can't win a bet, remember Saucy's message. Stop a moment and recall that sex is the thing that started it all. All together now. Rolls in, rolls in. Oh, how the money rolls in, rolls in. Rolls in, rolls in. Oy vey, how the money rolls in. My mother's a boarding housekeeper. Each night when her troubles begin, she hangs a red light in her window, and oh, how the money rolls in. All together now. Rolls in, rolls in. Oh, how the money rolls in, rolls in, rolls in, rolls in. Oy vey, how the money rolls in. My uncle, he works with religion. He saves all the women from sin. For $1, he'll save you a redhead. And oh, how the money rolls in. All together now. Rolls in, rolls in. How the money rolls in, rolls in. Rolls in, rolls in. Oy vey, how the money rolls in. My sister sells love on the corner. My auntie sells synthetic gin. My brother sells snow to the snowbirds. And oh, how the money rolls in. All together now. Rolls in, rolls in. Oy vey, how the money rolls in, rolls in, rolls in, rolls in. Oy vey, how the money rolls in. My grandpa makes cheap prophylactics. He punctures each one with a pin. For grandma gets paid for abortions. And oh, how the money rolls in. All together now. Rolls in, rolls in. Oy vey, how the money rolls in, rolls in, rolls in, rolls in. Oy vey, how the money rolls in. Did you hear about the girl that went to work in an airplane factory? She thought a tail assembly was a company picnic. A woman saw a little boy on the street. She said, "Hello, Sonny, do you have a fairy godmother?" And the kid said, "No, but I've got an uncle we're watching very closely." Do you know that the Playtex company just merged with the Hershey company and they are now making a living bra that melts in your mouth instead of your hands? Do Did you know that they installed a clock in the Leaning Tower of Pisa because there's no use having the inclination if you don't have the time? How do you get the water out of the ding-ding? You ring a ding-ding. Friend met another friend on the street. He said, "Are you getting any on the side?" And the other guy said, "When did they move it?" Did you hear about the girl who was madly in love with two sailors? She didn't know which one she loved the best, so she thought she had better put out to sea. And what do they call English ferries? Peter Sellers. What would you call someone who flew over Spain? A Spanish flyer. And did you hear about the girl that mistook aspirin for her birth control pill? She went through 3 pregnancies without a headache. And did you hear about the 80-year-old grandmother who went to the doctor and asked for birth control pills? "Please crush them as I have to sniff them. It's all in my head." Did you hear about the boss's wife who walked into his office and scared him half out of his secretary? What's brown, has fur, and lays in the woods? Smokey the Hooker. Smokey the Hooker. Do you know what Cock Robin's name was before he changed it? Schmuck Rabinovitz. I know there are a lot of golfers in the audience. Men golfers, I'm talking about. The ones who are ruining their wives' lives. That's right. Isn't that right? You go off to the golf course and leave your wife home alone, destined to be a golf widow. Now, that's not fair. You don't think of your poor wife at all. I know of cases where wives have a terrible time even getting near their golf bug husbands. I have a friend of mine who never sees her husband. The only time she gets any sex is when it rains. Even when he's home, she tells me, he eats, talks, and sleeps golf. She said to stimulate his sex urge, she bought him a copy of Playboy magazine with a fold-out picture of a beautiful, sexy, very undressed girl. She figured this would get him in the mood, till she discovered that he already had a pin-up picture of his own. There it was, on his closet door, a full-sized color shot of Arnold Palmer. Naked. Well, she finally divorced him after he ran off with his golf pro, who wasn't even attractive. And that's only one case, girls. It's becoming a bigger problem all the time. So golf widows arise. Yeah! Let's do something to put an end to all of this. Heed these words of advice, neglected wives. Saucy has the answer to the problem of being lonely while he's out on the golf course. Ladies, if you're rejected and downright neglected and feeling especially blue, there is one way to cope with that club-swinging dope with whom you've been so faithful and true. While he's out on the links, find a fellow who thinks he can please you, no ifs, ands, or buts. Just tell him all he has to prove is he knows how to sink his putts. The fairway, our husbands are out on the fairway, and while they're out there, we're getting our share. That seems like the only fair way. He's got golf balls and golf bags and golf carts and golf shoes and everything made for the game. And on tournament days, it's just odds that he lays, and you wish he would do you the same. If he won't play with you, I suggest what you do is to find you a fellow who will. Then while hubby's out swinging golf clubs, you your fellows home filling the bill. All together. The fairway, our husbands are out on the fairway, and while they're out there, we're getting our share. That seems like the only fair way. You put on something racy that's frilly and lacy and give him a Playboy to read. You spray on some perfume and return to the room, and he's reading a book by Sam Snead. When he gets into bed and he tells you he's dead 'cause the greens were especially rough, he won't even hug you and kiss you 'cause he might get stuck in the rough. All together. The fairway, our husbands are out on the fairway, and while they're out there, we're getting our share. That seems like the only fair way. If he comes home one day, says he thinks you should play, and is buying you clubs of your own, and you need an excuse 'cause your fella isn't used to enjoying his sex all alone, tell your husband it's not that the sun is too hot, and it's not that the game is a drag. It's just that the club that you play with is not one he keeps in his bag. All together. The fairway, our husbands are out on the fairway, and while they're out there, we're getting our share. That seems like the only fair way. All right, the switchers, take a chorus. Right here. The fair, our husbands are out on the fairway, and while they're out there, we're getting our share. That seems like the only fair. To the side of me, all together. The fairway, our husbands are out on the fairway, and while they're out there, we're getting our share. That seems like the only fair. The northwest section, right here, all together. One more. The fairway, our husbands are out on the fair. Everybody, and while they're out there, we're getting our share. That seems like the only fair way. Did you hear about the young husband who bought his wife a checkerboard nightgown, and every time she made a movie, jumped her? Show me a milkman walking down Broadway with high heels, and I'll show you a Dairy Queen. Definition of a dentist: one who will pull your uppers and fill your lower free. Definition of a chiropractor: one who gets paid for what most men get slapped for. Definition of a frilly dilly: that's a man who has been circumcised with pinky shears. Did you hear about the woman who mixed her saccharin tablets with her birth control pills and had the sweetest baby in the world? Oh, beautiful. What's yellow and lays in the tree? Tweety the whore. What's green and jumps from bed to bed? A prostitute. Definition of an angel, a female spirit who probably wishes she could change her heart for an upright organ. I'll tell you. It's amazing. How do you clean a topless bathing suit? But I think one of the cutest stories I've heard, a man that came up to a house and knocked on the door, and the woman came to the door and she said, what would you like, sir? And he said, I'm selling strawberries. And he said, well, would you like to come around to the back? So he came around to the back door, and she was standing there in the nude. And he started to cry, and she said, what's the matter, sir? He said, well, last year I lost my wife, and last month I lost my house, and now I'm going to get screwed out of my strawberries. I tell you, it's beautiful. I am tired of whiskey and tired of gin. I am tired of gambling and tired of sin. I am tired of pork chops and tired of steak. Had a chill last night and was too tired to shake. I am tired of women and down on my luck. Had a date last night and was too tired, darn was I tired. Here's to life so grand, just got a divorce from my old man. I laughed and laughed at the judge's decision. He gave him the kids and they weren't even his. And I would like to know, have you been listening to the radio lately? How about all the new songs? They all have the same message, protest. They're protesting against everything. The bomb, the government, freedom of speech. I even heard one song where a girl was protesting that her brother had longer hair than she did, and all her boyfriends were asking him out. And on the other side of the record, she protested against her brother for going out with him, only because he was wearing her dresses. It's a crazy world, isn't it? Actually, I too have a complaint, and I think I'm going to protest. I'll protest for the sexual freedom of women. When a man wants feminine companionship, he just gets on the phone and calls a girl and makes his pitch. On the other hand, when a girl wants a man to share her bed on a cold winter night, she has to wait for one to call and then make her move. If she calls him, she's dead. Big Brother society frowns on the woman being the aggressor. Well, hell, ladies, we got a right, haven't we? Have we got it right, Lo-Ann, Joanne, and Marie? Yeah. I guess the only way to be heard nowadays, though, is to sing a protest song. I don't think you'll hear this one on the radio, but here goes. Why does the woman have to conform to society's every whim, when the man can do whatever he wants, whenever it pleases him? Ladies, we must take a stand, demanding equal rights, or we are doomed to spend a lot of very lonely nights. So, ladies, stick with me, fight against society, let Saucy lead you on to promiscuity. A guy escorts a playmate to his penthouse every night. The doorman gives a knowing wink to show that it's all right. But when the young electrician comes to fix the lady's lamp, the neighbors lift their noses at this common little tramp. So, ladies, stick with me, fight against society, let Saucy lead you on to promiscuity. The husband and the wife decide their family ought to grow. The first try is successful, for their doctor told her so. Now wifey schleps for 9 long months with that ungrateful kid, while hubby's only comment is, Hey, look what I just did. So, ladies, stick with me. Fight against society. Let Saucy lead you on to promiscuity. The man pursues the passion of the little girl he's found. He does the little sexy things to show he's been around. But if the girl should take the lead, the guy gets pretty sore. He says, I guess you've been through this 100 times or more. So ladies, stick with me. Fight against society. Let Saucy lead you on to promiscuity. A man goes to his favorite bar to have a sip of beer. He makes a pass at every girl and smacks them on the rear. But if a girl should do the same to any Joe or Jack, you guessed it, sir, they label her a nymphomaniac. So ladies, stick with me. Fight against society. Let Saucy lead you on to promiscuity.